Hello and welcome to my studio. I'm Kristen Olson Stone. In today's video lesson, I'm going to demonstrate how to draw and paint a Valentine's card of a beautiful seascape. I'll be using a 6-color palette, this one, and I'll explain all the colors and color mixing as we go along. If you haven't already done so, please take a minute to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. I'm going to show you how to make a very easy 10-minute Valentine's card. The first thing you want to do is draw a big heart on your paper. It doesn't have to be perfect. And if you want to do this card as something other than a Valentine's card, like a birthday card or something, you could always make this a circle. And I'm going to put another little heart there so it says Happy Valentine's Day. I'm going to make a horizon line about 1/3 of the way down the side of the heart, and a couple of clouds, and a little offshore island. I want the island to end about on the right vertical third. Now I'm going to draw another sea cliff here, and I'm going to have it end with a little sea rock at the end, and a sea cliff in front of that. And then I'm going to have some flowers. And I'm just making some marks to indicate stems and some squiggly lines for the flowers. So very easy drawing. And that's all there is to that. I'm using Rembrandt paints today. Azo Yellow Deep, Azo Yellow Light, Perelyne Red. I'm trying out a new color. This is Quinacridone Rose Magenta, French Ultramarine, and Turquoise. And I'll be painting with a Silverbrush Black Velvet round brush, and the size is number 8. All right, let's get started. So I'm going to start with French Ultramarine for the sky. And I'm just going to fill out the top part of the sky above the clouds. So my color's pretty vivid, not super dark. I just want a nice, bright, pretty blue sky. Now, underneath of the clouds, I didn't draw a line there, but the sky becomes more of a turquoise color blue. So I'm going to add turquoise and mix it with the French ultramarine. And now I'm going to rinse my brush and just soften the top edge of the lower part of the sky. And then right above the horizon, I'm going to add a little line of Quinacridone Rose Magenta, and that will give some atmosphere. Also, when you have a red or pink line at the horizon of the ocean, it always makes it look like it's receding, so it's a way to add depth to your seascapes. So the little offshore island is going to be violet. I mixed French ultramarine and my rose. If you don't have that particular color, you could use permanent red violet or primary magenta or permanent rose, or I don't know, there's so many choices, but you just want a nice pinkish or purplish rosy color. Okay, so the middle of the clouds also need to have a little bit of dimension, so I just mixed some of this French ultramarine and the rose, and I'm just making a few shapes within the white. I want to make sure I leave a lot of white. I don't want to cover it all up. And I'm going to give the clouds a base with the same color, but this time I'm blending it into the turquoise colored sky. And this line here on top of the top part of this cloud is a little too straight, so I'm just using some water to smooth that out and make it a nice rounded shape. Same with this one. Don't know how I did that. Okay, So next, I'm going to paint this sea cliff, and I'm going to make it a nice golden color. But because it's in the middle ground, it needs to be grayed down. So I'm going to start with Azo Yellow Deep, and then to that, I'm going to add this other color mixture I had, which is a little bit of French ultramarine and a little bit of the rose color to make the Golden Hill more of a gray gold. And the reason I chose gold is because it's the complement to this violet one in the distance. So I tend to push my colors a little bit. I like things to be bright, pretty, and cheery. And I love color. So I always think about complements and color separation and things like that. At the base of this sea cliff, I want to have some dark sea rocks. So I've mixed French ultramarine, Perelyne red, and a little bit of the rose color, just to make a nice rich dark. And there's very little water in this color mixture. It's just a lot of paint. I'm going to pull some of that color mixture up into my hillside here, just to give it a little texture and interest. I'm going to rinse my brush now and do the next sea cliff. So for this one, I'm going to use turquoise and Azo Yellow Light, and also some Azo Yellow Deep. I just squeezed out these colors so they're really nice and fresh and so easy to use. I want to be sure to leave little bits of white because this is a sea cliff, but it's a lot of foliage, and I want it to look like it's lit by the sun. So you can see I painted this more solidly, and here I've made this, I painted it with a lighter touch, leaving a little more white. Next, it's time to paint the flowers. So I'm going to use the rose color first. And again, I'm painting it with a very light touch, leaving spots of white here and there. And I'm going to pull this pink shape down into the point of the Valentine heart, just to kind of fill in this shape. I'm also going to add some of my Perylene red. And if you don't have Perylene red, you can use cadmium red, permanent red, Quinacridone red. There's lots of choices again. But these are just some really wonderful colors, and I like how they mix together. So now my flowers are sort of red here and pinker at the top. Underneath the flowers, I'm going to have a deeper, darker, richer green than this one. So I'm going to be using some French ultramarine, and I'm going to pull some of this Azo Yellow Deep and some of the Azo Yellow Light into this green. I still want a little more blue. And I'm going to paint strokes that are kind of elongated, just to show that there's some stems and things under my flowers here. Okay, so now I'm going to add a little more yellow right through here, just to kind of brighten it and warm it up. And because I want this to have the look of just a really beautiful sunny day at the beach. Now it's time to paint the ocean. So I'm going to start with French ultramarine by itself at the horizon. I'm going to pull that straight across. If you don't have French ultramarine, you could use permanent blue, regular ultramarine, ultramarine deep, lots of choices. French ultramarine is a brighter, prettier version of regular ultramarine. Now, I want my painting to have depth, and so I want the water at the horizon to be a deeper, richer blue, deeper, cooler blue, and coming forward, I want the water to be more of a turquoise blue. So I'm just filling in this shape here, and I'm leaving a lot of white above the flowers. Again, that gives it that sunny look. I'm going to add a little bit of, just a tiny bit of yellow to the water. And I just want the water to come forward. So to make colors come forward, they need to be a little warmer. So I want the blue to be, or the ocean to have a deep blue at the horizon and then become turquoise and then become an even warmer, greener turquoise towards the front of the painting. And that's it. There's our seascape Valentine's card. One more thing, I almost forgot. I'm going to paint my little heart at the bottom. Now it's finished. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video.